Well, another chapter in Melbourne's gangland wars was closed today when crime matriarch Judy Moran was convicted of the murder of her brother-in-law in 2009. It took the jury more than 6 days to find her guilty of organising the murder of Des Moran, who Judy Moran believed had swindled her out of millions. Moran lost 2 sons and 2 husbands to murder, but apparently hadn't learnt any lessons from those deaths. Hamish Fitzsimmons reports.
Judy Moran was all smiles as usual as she returned to prison to await sentencing. It took 6 days to convict her of the murder of her brother-in-law. Des Tuppence Moran was shot 7 times at a deli in a busy shopping strip in 2009.
Around midday, before Desmond Moran had left the shop, he was shot by 2 men.
In the end, her performance minutes after the murder failed to sway the jury.
Probably about 15 minutes later, Judy Moran turned up. And then I knew, obviously, yeah, because she was screaming, "Oh, Desi, 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 Desi."
It was hardly the best executed crime. Moran drove her co-accused, Jeffrey Armour, to and from the murder. The getaway car and gun were later found at her house, the weapon inside a safe.
Another handgun with a seems to be a night aiming device on that.
Just for your information, inside that safe we found various items of clothing, jackets, gloves, 2 semi-automatic pistols and ammunition, 1 revolver and ammunition, some balaclavas and some rego plates belonging to a car. Do you know anything about those items?
But the jury decided she did. One of those charged with manslaughter for his involvement in the crime, Michael Farrugia, was the key to Moran's conviction. Farrugia and Armour are shown here, fleeing the scene. Farrugia told the court. Moran then asked Armour, "Did you get him?" and then congratulated him as they sped away. Judy Moran believed her brother-in-law was hiding money that was rightfully hers. And despite an earlier attempt on his life, Des Moran refused to live in fear.
I lost 3 people in the family. The next night I was out doing what I wanted to do. Of course, you're not going to let some hoon like this worry you.
Judy Moran's life has been immersed in violence. Her first husband was murdered, and her second husband, Lewis, and sons Jason and Mark were victims of Melbourne's gangland wars. Jason and Mark were murdered in a feud with underworld rival Carl Williams that began when Jason Moran shot and wounded Williams over a debt. Williams exacted his revenge on the entire Moran clan.
Why don't you admit it?
Judy Moran has always been a flamboyant character. At one stage, she signed with celebrity agent Harry M. Miller, hoping to capitalise on the notoriety that came with the title Gangland Matriarch. Her hatred for Carl Williams never abated.
Well, my family have been robbed. I just wish we could swing the governments around and bring back Sir Henry Bolty, because they need to be hung.
Williams was murdered in prison last year. Now it's Judy Moran's turn to contemplate just how much violence ever achieves. She'll be sentenced at a later date. Hamish Fitzsimmons, Lateline.